The aspect of the AI and the machines taking over. You know, we have cars that drive themselves, and that's a convenience right now, but soon there won't be a steering wheel, and it'll take you to the police station when you have outstanding parking tickets, and, you know, it'll be like that. So we've got a lot to look forward to. I love the aspect of the AI and the machines taking over. You know, we have cars that drive themselves, and that's a convenience right now, but soon there won't be a steering wheel, and it'll take you to the police station when you have outstanding parking tickets, and, you know, it'll be like that. So we've got a lot to look forward to.
All right, Shalom. First off, we give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh and Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and Bahashem Rachakodash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. As always, peace and salutations to the elect. This is the brother Benaiah from the Great Millstone Dallas branch coming back at you with a quick lesson. All right, and as you can see from that video, all right, Jim Carrey, you know, was jokingly saying, but he's dead serious about this technology, AI, being ultimately introduced into every aspect of life that you can think about, man, that we seeing more and more is taking place every day, from your car, you know, to these particular devices that we hold in our hand, to devices that we have in our homes, to particular things that you have at work, you know, systems that they're introducing in your job fields, you know, such as warehouses, you know what I'm saying, office jobs. More and more, this AI, all right, is being pushed, all right, pushed on us, all right, at a you know, high rate, you know, to the point to where they're making robots, having robots now. You have particular warehouses who have they don't need actual people to do, you know, forklift jobs. They have animated you know, machines that can do it, that can load and unload trucks, you know, that can move packages and things like that. They have more and more humanoids are being pushed and made. You know, now they're playing basketball, they're you know, playing soccer, they're boxing, they're dancing, you know what I'm saying? So, and right now that shit is cute, you know. People see these particular videos on the internet and it's cute, you know what I'm saying? They liking them all in the comments, all, you know, like they're amazed by it. But ultimately that's the way that this devil moves, you know what I'm saying? He has the people fascinated by this technology, but ultimately they're going to be replaced by it at the end of the day, you know. And as this year continue on and it's 2026 continues, more and more people, all right, are going to be fired, you know, or let go from these particular job sites, and AI is going to take their place. All right. So I have a video pulled up, and as you can see, this is from End Time Headlines, and I have another video that I want to get as well. I'm just going to roll in the spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? But as you can see from the title, it says they just gave your car a kill switch. Here's why that's terrifying. And we kind of touched on it just a little bit last night at camp. All right. Even before we started, you know what I'm saying, started the, you know, the live stream, you know, the priest Tazama, you know, we was talking about it, and, you know, he had mentioned, like, even on his car, you know, I guess, you know, when he, you know, I guess he, you know, when you start to drift lanes or something like that, you know what I'm saying? He said it you know, on his dashboard, it says, you know, his car tell him, like, you got to get it, you know, get some coffee or get some caffeine. You know what I'm saying? So this technology is already in cars, man, you know, so don't get it twisted, because they're saying, you know, in 2027 and 2026, 2027 models. No, this shit is already in cars. All right. And these laws have been put in place, you know, before this year, man, you see, because they use these particular officials, you know, these particular presidents to pass law, whether it's on the left, all right, or the right, you know, because at the end of the day, the left wing and the right wing is still the same bird. All right. And they ultimately have the same agenda. It's that the whole Democrat and Republican parties are just used as an illusion to give you people to the sense that you have a choice, that you can vote. All right. Every president that was put in place in America wasn't voted in. They were chosen by the higher up. All right. By the rich international banking families. All right. Which is the, you know, the top head of the nation of Edom, which are the Amalekites, man. You know what I'm saying? So they put these particular peoples in place to pass particular laws, you know what I'm saying, to play on the minds of the people. All right. And ultimately is the way that he's guiding, all right, the world. He's guided into tyranny, you see. And this is the same thing that Nimrod was doing, you know what I'm saying, back when you read in the book of Genesis. OK, and it's nothing new under the sun, as the scriptures say. So let's get into this video. I'm going to play a little bit. I'm going to let them talk. Grab some scriptures. And like I said, Lord, when this lesson's edifying.
This is unbelievable. This is from, I want to show you this article. This is from michaelsnyder.com. And this is being reported by multiple outlets now. All new vehicles sold in the United States will soon be equipped with an AI kill switch that will determine whether you are allowed to drive or not. Now let's read a little of this. Imagine that you just received a very alarming call and you are in a panic to get home. Unfortunately, since your eyes are wide and full of alarm because of the phone call that you just received, the AI kill switch in your vehicle will not allow you to drive anywhere. This is not a scenario which may or may not happen someday. This is already federal law. All right, here we go. Check it out.
Mr. Massey and the member opposed each will control 5 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Kentucky.
Mr. Chair, I rise in support of our amendment. This is co-sponsored by Mr. Perry from Pennsylvania and Mr. Roy from Texas. And I regret that we have to offer this amendment. What I'm going to describe will probably sound like a bad science fiction movie, but that's what's written into law. Right now in law, that's going to be implemented.
And a lot of our people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are not aware of what's truly going on, you know, because the mass majority of the people are so concerned with, you know, celebrity news. All right. They watch TMZ. To a nigga, TMZ is news. You know, what's going on with Kanye West? What's going on with Megan Thee Stallion and Clay Thompson, whatever the nigga name is, man. You see? What's going on with P. Diddy? You know, this is news to the mass majority of the people. All right. And while they're busy watching, you know, celebrities, these are the things, these are laws that have been placed. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, is you know what I'm about to say? It sounds like it's from a horror or a sci-fi movie, but this shit is real. You know, this is really happening. It's not a conspiracy theory. All right, it's not a theory. All right, but it's a conspiracy. Because when you go on, we went into that word conspiracy last night, which was really, you know, the definition is real quick. Before I'm gonna come back to this, Salakia. I'm gonna come back to this. I'm glad that word conspiracy. All right. It says a conspiracy is a secret, unlawful, or harmful plan made by two or more people, often to commit a crime, to perform an illegal act, or act against someone's interest. Right. You see? So let me read a little bit more. Legally, it involves an agreement to break the law. You see, and that's exactly what they're doing. All right. They're breaking the laws. You know, these officials, because they're doing away with the Constitution, man. All these rights that you people think you have, you know, it's out the fucking window. All right. It's being taken away right before your eyes, man, you know. And this devil uses gradualism. You know what I'm saying? It's smart technology. Even when you go into that word smart. All right. It's ultimately the acronym for SMART is self-monitoring, analysis, and reporting technology. You see, so these smartphones, these smart TVs, these smart refrigerators, you know what I'm saying? All these things are, you know, it comes with the, you know, it makes your life more convenient. It's faster. You can do this and you can do that. You know what I'm saying? It has the app on you know, Netflix app and all this other shit, you know, because at one point in time, TVs, they didn't have apps. You know what I'm saying? You just had, you know, fucking TV. You had to get cable. You had like a DVD player, man, you know. But now, you know, this shit is smart. All right. And it's, like I said, it comes with under the guise of convenience. But really, that shit is reporting you being monitored, man. You constantly being watched and spied on, observed. All right. So let me see. Was that it? Okay. So let's go back to this. Let's go back to this video, man.
It says for 2026 and beyond. Now, the reality is the technology doesn't exist, but that doesn't keep legislators from imagining things that they would like to do to infringe on civil liberties. But there is a law that states that every vehicle manufactured is going to have a kill switch in it.
Wow.
The car itself will monitor your driving. And if the car thinks that you're not doing a good job driving, it will disable itself. So the car dashboard becomes your judge, your jury, and your execution.
Right. And he's pushing that that mindset on the people, man. How AI, you know, with these, they got a school over here in the U.S. I think it's in Chicago, to where they don't have teachers. You know, AI is the teacher. All right. And it was a news report, you know what I'm saying? And they was doing on that school. And they were saying how the children that go to that school, their grades are higher. You know what I'm saying? These AI is more capable of teaching students one-on-one versus them being in a classroom of 23 with one teacher having, and who can't get to every child. So they're pushing the mindset of this AI, this technology is better than, humans. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna get to the point to where, well, instead of having an actual human or a person judging, like he said, or making decisions, let's let AI do it because it seems to know best, and this shit is really happening, man.
Imagine this. We got a snowstorm coming. A mom takes her kids out. They're going to the grocery store. It's snowing. They're trying to get some groceries before the big storm hits. She swerves for a pothole. The neighbor's pet gets in the way, swerves for that. A first responder goes by. She pulls over. Her car says, "You got one more swerve, and then we're going to ground you." There it is. The next thing she has to avoid, an icy patch in the road. The car has adjudicated her as unsuitable for driving. It disables the vehicle, and there she's stranded. My question is, how do you appeal your sentence once your car, the technology in your car, has judged you to be incapable of driving? Once it's disabled you and your children at the side of the road, how do you appeal that? Do you press a button on the dashboard? Do you start talking to an AI? What if it really was somebody who was drunk? Are you really going to send a police car after this? Disabled vehicle? Do we have the resources to do that? There's going to be so many false positives. The technology is unworkable. That's why the DOT is still in the rulemaking process, asking for feedback on how this thing could even exist. And it's just a bad idea, but it's in law, and so our amendment would defund that. And with that, I'd like to reserve the balance of my time.
Now, folks, look, that was not something that was, that didn't come from some YouTuber. That came from our Congress. So this concept of this AI kill switch, which we'll go into more detail about this in just a moment, it's essentially a remote or automated system capable of disabling your car's operation. This is absolutely Orwellian to the max.
Right. Because ultimately this devil wants total control. You won't be able to do anything, You constantly monitor, is watching you, and he's gonna be able to see. This is going back into the, him trying to make himself like the Most High, man. All right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play a little bit more of that video, and I'm gonna grab the scripture.
This has the very traits of a total state control, the complete erosion of autonomy, and it has an omnipresent surveillance, again, that mirrors George Orwell's 1984.
Right, that omnipresent, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let it again. Let him say it again.
Erosion of autonomy, and it has an omnipresent surveillance, again, that...
Right, because he's trying to make himself like the Most High, man, okay? So let's get this. I'm going to come back to this Psalms 37. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, all right, in verse 3 it says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition," all right, which is the son of destruction. It says, "Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." All right. And when you go into that word, you know what I'm saying, showing, which I think the priest Osmond Watson went into it, man. All right. When you go to this definition, I'm gonna let him say it.
Strong's G 584. Apadynukme. Apadynukme.
Right. It says it says to show forth. All right. He's showing himself, trying to show. It says to expose, to view, to exhibit. He's trying to exhibit. Let's get this word real quick. To put on display. This nigga is trying to put on display, man. You know what I'm saying? Via this technology, man. You see, because this is all a part of Esau's blessing on the left-hand side, going back to the sword. You know what I'm saying? The Esau, the actual physical sword, and then that sword, that blessing runs deeper than that. It runs deeper than just a physical, weapon that he uses to kill. Okay, his tongue is a sword. Him being able to go into studies and have, put trillions of dollars into study on how to weaponize food, how to weaponize particular, medicines to attack, Jake. That's all a part of his sword, man. You see, even this technology, man, because when you go into the definition, when you go into the etymology of that word smart real quick, all right, this was brought out a while ago by the elder Ariala, and then, and I think the elder from the UK, when they did a video on this smart, on that word smart, it says, this is the etymology. It says to cause pain, to suffer pain, all right, to be painful, to be in pain, to bite. It says to cause hurt, you see. So the same technology that's being used, all right, is ultimately for the hurt of the people, okay? It says to declare, going back to the definition, to declare, to show, to prove what kind of person anyone is, to prove, and that's what he's trying to do, to prove by arguments, you see, or demonstrate. He's trying to demonstrate, look, I'm the Most High. Look what I can do. Look what my technology has to offer you, man. You see, we don't need God. And this is the same mindset, all right, that Nimrod was in. When you go and you get into Josephus and you read about it, which I'm going to grab real quick. All right, this is from book 1, Josephus, Antiquity of the Jews. All right, chapter 4, and I'm going to go down to number 2. It says, now was Nimrod who excited them to such an affront and contempt of God. He was the grandson of Ham, the son of Noah, a bold man and of great strength of hand. You see, and this is the same characteristics that Esau has, man. You see, he's a bold man. A bold man means proud. He's a proud man, and he has a great strength of hand. You see, it says he persuaded them not to ascribe it to God as if it was through his means that they were happy, but to believe that it was their own courage which procured that happiness, you see? And they're doing the same thing. That's why you have Noah Yuval Harari saying that if the God of the Bible don't make it rain, he tries to bring a famine, we can make our own rain. We can do this and we can do that. So the same way Nimrod was pushing on the people, all right, during that time, this new Nimrod, all right, Esau Edom, is in the same mindset. Going back to that 2 Thessalonians 2, he's opposing and exalting himself above all that is called the Most High. All right. It says he also gradually, like it says, but to believe that it was their own courage which procured that happiness. It says he also gradually changed the government into tyranny. You see, and that's what we're seeing right now. Let's get the definition of that word tyranny. All right. It says, tyranny is the arbitrary. However you say that, real quick. Let's go to it. I have it pulled up.
Arbitrary.
Arbitrary. Yeah, there we go. The arbitrary, which it says the decisions, actions, or rules based on personal random choice or individual discretion rather than logic, law, or objective reason. It implies a lack of fairness or systematic planning, often indicating an unrestricted exercise of power. You see, and that's exactly what Esau is trying to do. He's doing away with the Constitution, and he's trying to have, unrestricted power. You see, because right now, the so-called Constitution was put in place to restrict particular powers of the president. But now all that shit is going out the window, man. You see, all that shit is going out the fucking window. So going back, it says arbitrary. Tyranny is the arbitrary, oppressive, or cruel, abusive exercise of power, usually by a government or sole ruler. It is characterized by absolute rule, lack of constitutional restraints, and severe and often unpopular control over citizens. All right. Originated from the Greek tyrannos, which means master. All right. It says it differs from lawful rule by prioritizing the ruler's interest over the common good. And that's exactly what these goddamn devils are doing, bro. That's exactly what they're doing, man. It says cruelty and oppressive. You know what I'm saying? Absolute control, man. All right. And the scriptures talk about it. I'm going to come back to this Josephus. All right. Just keep that in mind about this 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. All right. And what they do, how Nimrod, ultimately, turned the government into tyranny. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to this Luke 21. We always bring this out. All right. This Luke 21. All right. In verse 25, it says, and there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and in the stars and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the seas and the waves roaring. But when you go into this word distress, Salaki, when you go into this word distress, let me see. All right, and you go into the root word of it, sakneho. All right, but it says what? I'm gonna go down. Okay. To hold completely, man. You see, of course, you have the cattle squeeze. He's squeezing people in the place of a cattle squeeze that pushes in on every side, forcing the beast into a position where it cannot move so the farmer can administer medication. You see, we seeing that Esau, that's what he's doing. But the point I want to get on is it says to hold completely, okay, of a prisoner, you see, to constrain, to oppress of ills laying hold of one and distressing him, you see. So this is exactly what you have taking place, man. You see, this Esau is, like it says, a siege, So people are being seized, they're being compressed and being put into a position. Esau is making plays to where he can hold these people completely, man. That they will have no other way, all right, but to come through him. So going back into this Josephus, it says he gradually changed the government, gradually, you see, over time. You see, not right, not the next day, no, he did it over time to where people, gradually, they accepted it. Like they got that saying in the world, you put a frog in boiling water, it's going to jump out. But you put a frog in water and heat it up slowly, it'll stay in there until it's completely cooked, and that's gradualism. And that's how this devil works. He also gradually changed the government into tyranny, seeing no other way of turning man from the fear of God, but to bring them into constant dependence on his own power. And that's exactly what Esau's doing. You see, he's putting people in place. He's setting rules. He's been burning all these goddamn, food processing plants. He's been burning it and killing all the cattle, the land. He's been buying the land and buying particular rights to minerals. All right, to seize control of water, that way, like it said, to what? It says to seeing no other way of turning man from the fear of God, you see? That's what he wants to do. He wants to turn people from the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but to bring them into constant dependence on his own power, you see? Taking control of the resources, all right? Now where you going to get your food? You have no other choice but to come to me to get your food. You see, he also said he would revenge on the Most High if he should have a mind to drown the world again, for that he would build a tower too high for the waters to be able to reach, and that he would avenge himself on God for destroying their forefathers. And you know what I'm saying? And this is the same mindset that Esau in. Now, the multitude were very ready to follow the determination of Nimrod and to esteem it as a piece of cowardice to submit to God. You see? And that's why the scripture saying 2nd Esdras chapter 16 that he's going to be like a madman sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear God. You see, because us believers, man, you see, believing in Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to be a threat. We're going to be it's going to be seen as treason. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, a cowardice to submit to God. So that's real soon. It's about to become a problem to be a believer, man. It says neither sparing any pain nor being in any decree negligent about the work. You know what I'm saying? So that tower, building that tower, you see, and that's exactly what these officials of the world are doing when they have these summit meetings. You know what I'm saying? They ain't wasting they ain't wasting, you know what I'm saying, every hand on deck, in order to build, all right, this new age Tower of Babel, man. So let's go back to this video. All right, and like I said, this technology it's not only in your fucking car, all right, but it's being in every aspect of your life, man. All right, so I'm gonna play a little bit more of this video.
Disabling your car's operation. This is absolutely Orwellian to the max. This has the very traits of a total state control, the complete erosion of autonomy, and it has an omnipresent surveillance, again, that mirrors George Orwell's 1984. This is unbelievable, but it's not. I mean, this is, again, the beast system is taking shape and taking form right in front of our eyes. And in Orwellian society, the state or centralized power has the final say over an individual's movement. So this an AI kill switch and taking form right in front of our eyes.
Let's hear him say this again.
And in Orwellian society, the state or centralized power has the final say over an individual's movement. So this
Right, they have the final say over your movement in the earth. We seeing this taking place, man. It's not just no fucking book. Like he's saying, Orwell, he wrote that book. What is it called? 19 something. You know what I'm saying? He wrote a book about, the tyranny in a system to where people were totally monitored and, you know what I'm saying, to the point to where they couldn't do shit. All right, this is not a fucking book, bro. This is happening in real life. Total control, and laws are being put in place on about how you can move on the earth, man. Your niggas not gonna be taking cruises no more. You not gonna be taking trips to Miami. He gonna sit you hoes down, man. All right, and the rest of you people as well. You're not gonna be able to freely, or when you feel like leaving the fucking house. Let me just go to the mall. You ain't gonna be able to go no fucking where, man. He's gonna restrict your ass to a fucking to your fucking house, man. With your food being delivered by a fucking drone. He's already doing it, man. Down drone delivering pizzas and shit. That's the gradualism, bro. Uber Eats. It is gradualism, bro. Now niggas think they can just, it's really convenient. I ain't got to do it. Just order some food and somebody come drop it off. Eventually, ain't gonna be no nigga that's dropping it off. Them niggas gonna lose because now they got autonomous fucking cars that can bring you goddamn food. Them little fucking robots that's driving down, them Uber Eat robots that be delivering food to hotels and shit downtown. Real soon, these niggas who Uber, to try to make a little, Uber Eats to try to make a little bit of money, that shit gonna be out the window because these robots are gonna do it. And guess what? You niggas are gonna be stuck in the house, man. Nigga turning the world into a prison, bro.
an AI kill switch removes the private from the private property per se. So
yeah, nigga, rev that Hellcat if you want to, nigga. You gonna shut that bitch down, So let's get another video. I'm gonna let it play all the way through.
Good.
Michael Dieter has been awaiting a lung transplant at the University of Florida Health Center since December.
I'm what you call high flow air. And because of that, I can't sustain myself at home.
A dedicated team of doctors and nurses attend to him day and night. But that's not all.
That's okay.
Sensors and cameras track Dieter's every move in this smart intensive care unit, from vital signs to facial expressions and everything in between.
Every place in this room will sensing something about you. Is this enough light? Is this enough noise? Are you okay? Are you moving enough? Are you in your bed? Are you out of the bed? I think that's the future of how we will design hospital.
More than 350.
Man, say, bro. Come on now. So this shit constantly monitoring your ass, bro. To where, like she said, it's gonna be able to watch. Just listen. I'm gonna wind that part again, and I'm gonna let it play it through. And you see how he's trying to show you, he's trying to put on the minds of the people, this is the future. This is the way. This is going to be your new hospital. This is going to be, and eventually ain't going to be no fucking nurses there. It's going to be some goddamn robots, man. It's going to be them goddamn Tesla bots that you seeing that you think is so funny that's dancing and you know what I'm saying, and doing all this bullshit. Yeah, all you bitches who RNs, that's going to take your fucking place, man.
A dedicated team of doctors and nurses attend to him day and night. But that's not all.
That's okay.
Sensors and cameras track Dieter's every move in this smart intensive care unit, from vital signs to facial expressions and everything in between.
Every place in this room will sensing something about you. Is this enough light? Is this enough noise? Are you okay? Are you moving enough? Are you in your bed? Are you out of the bed? I think that's the future of how we will design hospital.
More than 350 gigabytes of information per patient goes into a central computer, where artificial intelligence then processes the data.
We could look at the patient and go, they're moving a lot. There's something going on there. Or their face has a certain grimace to it that they normally don't have. Is it possible that it could tell you before I even know that I'm having problems?
Yes, 100%. We will be able to decipher complex features, complex emotions like agitation or hunger.
Funded by the National Institute.
So it's going to be able to tell just by looking at your facial expression, how you move, if you're agitated, if you're, you know what I'm saying, if you hungry, by your fucking facial expressions, bro. So he wants to know everything about you, and and through this technology, studying and constantly monitoring you, he's gonna know. You see? He's trying to make himself like the Most High, man. You see, this is no fucking joke, bro. This is not a game. These are actual news articles. These is actual this shit was played on the fucking news. Like I said, 3 years ago.
Of health, the high-tech experiment enters its third year. Researchers are still teaching the technology what certain actions like sitting and standing might indicate. The hope that AI will soon be able to provide real-time healthcare recommendations. Nurses, doctors, we spend a considerable amount of time paperwork, translating the data we get.
You will actually have representation of the data in a way that you as a human can just understand and action.
But will this new technology replace the need for humans in the hospital altogether?
They are very simplistic models compared to what our brains are doing. And I don't think that we should be worried about humans being replaced anytime soon.
This technology does take big burden off the physicians and nurses and provide them time to actually engage what we are here for, taking care of the patients.
A new holistic approach to healthcare where humans and computers work hand in hand. Dr. John Torres, NBC News, Gainesville, Florida.
So there you have it, man. You see? And they always try to push that. You don't have to worry about humans being replaced. I don't see humans being replaced by robots anytime soon. But niggas is losing their job daily now, to fucking AI, man. And like I said, it's eventually gonna get to the point to where there's no only humans that's gonna be in the hospital are the ones that's being treated by this technology. Ain't gonna be no need for doctors because they already have AI machines that can do surgery. You see, they can perform surgery, on people. So this technology is ultimately gonna replace, people, It's going to replace the purpose that people have on the planet Earth. And then which ultimately goes back into the Georgia Guidestones. If you have no purpose in this man's world and in Esau's society, then you're just a useless eater. All right. For the culling. You know what I'm saying? He's ultimately going to cull and cut your ass off, like it says, the Georgia Guidestones, man. But this is the shit that's going on, man. You know what I'm saying? This technology is everywhere. You see, flock cameras, more and more cameras are being installed everywhere on your street corners, on your light poles, in your apartment complexes. You know what I'm saying? And it's constantly monitoring you, man. It knows you. All right. It done watched you so many times. It knows how you walk and tell from a distance how you walk, man. And we see just like when we at camp and, we got a little distance, brothers hit the corner, down the street before they come to the camp, before they reach the camp. You know what I'm saying? And we can just us as man can tell. All right, man, that's that brother. By the way that brother walk, how much more this technology? You know what I'm saying? It's going to be able to know you, even if it doesn't see your face. It can see the back of your head, and it can know by your gait and how you walk who you are. This is the society that's being erected to where there's no escape, and that's why the Lord is going to have to lift up a standard. All right, when you go into that word standard, and I'm gonna end it off on this, man, because I know I've been going for a minute. But like I said, Lord, when this lesson was edifying, all right? And this is exactly why Yahweh Hashem and Hawashai is going to have to lift up the standard, because it was never been a time like this on the planet Earth, man. All right, when persecution came to the prophets, all right, to the believers back then, they could run into another city. Like Hawashai said, when you're persecuted in this city, go to a next city, all right? But like it says in 2nd Esdras chapter 16, in every city, all right, in all cities in the next one, real quick, man, 2nd Esdras chapter 16 in verse 70, man, it says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities, you see? So like Yahushua said, I'm gonna read that again. 2nd Esdras chapter 16 and verse 7, it says, and there shall be in every place and in the next cities, all right, a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, right? Because like I said, you had Yahushua say in the Gospels, when you're persecuted in one city, flee to the next. All right. In these times, you're not going to be, how are you going to be able to flee to the next, man? Like it says, there shall be in every place and in the next city. So the next cities that you try to flee to, all right, you're not going to be able to escape. There's cameras everywhere. You're going to be seen by a camera, bro. Whether it's a camera that's on somebody's car, a camera that somebody's walking down the street talking on their cell phone and Esau's able to tap into it. set up a system to where, you know, he can tap, and they show you that. They show you that in that movie. They show you that in a lot of movies, but one of the movies that really brought it to mind was this new Accountant, The Accountant 2. You know what I'm saying? Watch that movie and you will see how they ultimately found this chick. You know what I'm saying? This hitman chick who they was, you know what I'm saying, who everybody was looking for. They tapped into a chick, and because she knew where all the cameras was, so when she would walk by, when she was walking down, she never lifted up her head, or she knew when to turn her head a certain way to where none of the cameras on these streets can pick her up. You see, but she fucked up when, you know, somebody across the street from her was taking a picture while she was walking down the street, and they was able to tap into this lady's, they was able to find this lady's picture that she took, tap into her smart thermostat at her house, tap into her computer, and then go and find a photo. You know what I'm saying? And do all kind of shit to ultimately identify. So there's no place that we can ultimately run to escape. We're going to be seen by these fucking cameras, bro. You see, and that's exactly why Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to have to lift up this standard. All right. Isaiah 59, all right, in verse 19, it says, and so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. All right. And when you get this word standard, all right, Strong's H5127. All right. It's Hawak. I think I'm saying that right. Salaki if I'm not. All right. But when you go down, all right, it says to flee, to escape, to take flight. You know what I'm saying? To depart, to disappear. You see? So the Lord is going to have to give us away. That's why we say man are going to get spiritual powers. Man are going to be flying. It says to take flight, you know. It says to put to flight, to drive hastily, to cause to disappear or hide, man. You see, so Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to have to hide us in that time, man. You see, how else are we going to be able to to get away? You can't walk down the street. When you walk down the fucking street, I guarantee you've been picked up. All right, by over 100 fucking cameras, whether it's people on their phone, cameras at a restaurant establishment or a building, you know what I'm saying? Traffic light cameras. You've been picked up by over 50 fucking cameras just by walking down the street, you know? So these are the times that we living in, and that's why we're looking for a standard, man. You see, a way to escape. But I didn't want to make this too long, man. I just wanted to bring that information out. You know, this is what this devil is doing. He's trying to seize the like it says, the total control. All right, on how you move in the earth, what you can do. This is not a conspiracy. This is not a theory, man. This is a fact. All right. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles, a great millstone, and teaching rule well. As always, peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.